Evening, everyone. Welcome to Late Nights with Tick. This is the Sunday show, and we are here with the fantastic scholarly gentleman, Mr. Midnight Designer.
How's it going, Tick?
Hey, man. How's it going?
I'm doing well.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I hope I'm not bothering you too much on a Sunday.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Happy to do it. Oh, before we get started, can I say hi to somebody?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
All right. Hey, Pat, it's Midnight. What up, player? Thank you. I had to say hi to my subscriber.
Oh, obviously. Just the one. The only one.
The one who's watching right now.
Yes, of course. You've got a little story behind that, haven't you? Your little...
Oh, the Pat thing?
Call Pat, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was starting to sort of develop, I guess when you do YouTube videos, you kind of develop an approach, right? Your perspective and your how you're going to do things and how you're going to open and how you're going to close. And there are a lot of YouTubers out there who have kind of named their audience, right? They've given their audience into the Cobble Nation or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of I appreciated the personalization of doing something like that, but I thought that from my perspective that it would be nice to be able to, because the reality is, and believe me, there are two schools of thought, and this is only mine and the correct one, but there are two schools. But there are those who see their audience as the whole thing, and then there are those who see their audience as that individual person who is watching that video at that time, right? And both are perfectly valid ways to look at it, but but I kind of the idea of having that sort of one-on-one communication with that person who is physically sitting in front of a screen watching your episode, that it's the two of you, that was kind of intriguing to me. So that was sort of the route I went down. And then Pat was a name that I kind of picked. For a couple of reasons. It's gender neutral. So I know I have several. I have many women who watch my videos.
Many? Are you sure?
Well, I know there are many women in my house who watch the videos. So there's
okay. So that's at least half your audience.
So that's enough. But it's gender neutral, and it's really, truth be told, it's an homage to my best friend growing up, whose name was Pat.
Oh, that's cool. Because we both sit on opposite sides of this.
Right.
Because, I always think of my audience as the group. So I'm always addressing the group rather than trying to address an individual. But
right, and that is a perfectly alternative perspective.
But wrong, in your opinion.
Well, I don't know if it's wrong. It's certainly less correct.
Yeah, obviously.
But I think that the important thing is that, and I don't know I'll be the first to admit, I don't know anything about Minecraft. I don't know anything about making videos that people like to watch. All I know is what I enjoy watching, and what I have learned from what I have enjoyed watching is that when you've got a favorite YouTuber, one that you really enjoy, there's something that happens when you click on their video and it starts playing and you hear that whatever their intro is, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same every time, and then you sort of go, you go, I'm here,
So
I think that and the reason I bring this up is I think that regardless of how you approach your audience as a YouTuber, the consistency allows people to sort of you get branded and you get familiar, and so the people who come back and watch your videos, they feel at home as soon as it's like sliding into a comfortable pair of shoes.
Yeah.
There's that intro, and you kind of, okay, now I get to watch Late Night Tick.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that your thought.
Oh, he appears to have dropped out there for a second. He'll come back shortly.
And that's what I have to say about that.
Okay, makes perfect sense. You did drop out there for a second, but
Oh, well, I was probably
you were. Well, I mean that. I completely agree with you that it helps build the brand and identity. I mean, let's go back a little bit further for you. I mean, how did you get into Minecraft and YouTube? Because it's quite a daunting thing to jump into for the first time.
well, obviously two very different questions.
Yeah. Let's start from the beginning then.
Let's start from the beginning. I was watching YouTube videos before I started playing Minecraft. And I was watching, I was watching some of the Minecraft guys and
Yeah.
the Hermit, the same folks everybody watches.
Yeah,
But I was watching also, the guilty pleasure Minecrafters, the ones that
you're gonna have to explain that a little bit.
Right. Well, the ones that like the cool Minecraft players don't admit watching. Like, we loved here watching Syndicate play Minecraft. Chimney Swift.
Mm-hmm.
The folks that and even what's his name? No, I'm not going to have it. But the guys who were more entertaining about playing than playing well.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of how I was attracted to Minecraft. But the problem was that the computers that we have here, it could not run the game. I mean, when you first see Minecraft, you think, I should be able to run this on my TI-99 4A.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot. You cannot.
No, definitely not.
So I actually because I tried it a couple times. There were a couple of aborted attempts on my PC. And it was like 2 frames and it was ridiculous. So I actually started, and I hate to admit this, but I started on the Xbox.
Well,
and I guess and I started it on the Xbox when it came out. So it was on par with I
think it was 1.3, wasn't it? The first one? Oh, he dropped out again.
It dropped out again.
Yeah.
So the Minecraft on the Xbox when it came out was on par with version 1.0 of the PC version. But it was really bad. There were a lot of game-breaking bugs. Like, if you went into the Nether, it broke the game.
Oh, wow.
So you couldn't go into the Nether without breaking the game. So eventually, but what happened with playing on the Xbox was I fell in love with the game of Minecraft and became so frustrated. I'm going to switch, look at the camera. And became so frustrated that I couldn't play it like it was intended, because I couldn't go in the Nether, that I just, I'm going to buy a PC that can play Minecraft. And I think by then Minecraft, the PC version was like 1.2.4.
Right, yeah.
So that's where I landed. So I think Jungle had just come out. I'm trying to remember what was in the 1.2.4.
That's about right.
So Jungle was added, and
Potions, that lot.
Right.
So from there you decided that you'd like to make the YouTube videos.
Yeah, the YouTube was kind of a different thing. I like playing Minecraft with my kids, and for those of you who have watched my channel, I do a lot of videos with my kids. So I was mainly doing videos to entertain my kids. Right. And to be honest, early on, they were the only ones watching.
Well, that's what their audience was.
But it was part of, just teaching them a lot of things about, because doing YouTube, you can learn a lot of stuff about marketing and production and, video. I mean, the obvious stuff like video editing, the nuts and bolts of putting a video together. But then you learn about, guerrilla marketing, and you learn about just all kinds of things that I think that children who are my age are going to need to have mastered. Because I think that media is going to dramatically shift and just change in the next decade. I mean, we've already seen, the downfall of, like the three major networks in the US anyway, and then the dominance of cable. But then now with the sort of advent of not just YouTube, but Netflix and Amazon Prime, and even the cable on demand stuff. I think that the way that people get their entertainment in the next decade is still going to shift dramatically. And I think that having children who know how to handle all of this stuff is an interesting way to get them ready.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, that is a super intelligent way to go about it, I think.
My wife is very smart.
Ah, okay, yeah, she's the decision maker. Makes perfect sense to me now. Oh, right. Well, how about we jump into the bulk of the show for a bit? The first section is what has been happening in the past week. So this is roughly where I talk about what I've been doing, but we'll be able to get Midnight's input. Because
I believe our paths crossed at some point during this.
They did, yeah, and they're destined to cross again shortly. So, I mean, for me, I've actually been concentrating a little bit too much on Hypermine recently, so I've let the vanilla server slip a little bit, which is bad of me, because I was meant to have 2 videos out this week, and I only got one half video, my sort of reaction video to your prank.
Gift.
Yes, sorry. Your welcome gift. Though, very hurtful sign. I have to have you know, I was deeply wounded.
Well, for those who may not have seen it, what was that welcome sign?
It was know your role. That was the little sign. And in the air above my racetrack were the words, "My name is Pat," in a nice little Best Buy style name tag.
How thoughtful!
It is, and made entirely out of wool, which I can absolutely use plenty of.
See?
It's letting me know that I am not special. Oh, man.
Every snowflake is special, Tick.
Yes. And I am multiple snowflakes. At least 3. Very special. Oh, man. I almost expected the sign to say, "You killed my father. Prepare to die."
Well, you know what? I only had X amount of wool. And
no, just little signs.
But, I mean, the name tag itself was huge. It's like 55. It's 55 blocks across. So that was I built that overnight because I tried to time it
when I wouldn't be around.
When you wouldn't be around.
Little did you know, I wasn't going to be.
Right. I didn't realize how big the window was. But I had to stop like at 2 different because I ran out of wool. So I had to stop. There were 2 points where I had to stop and go gather wool.
You do realize that, I have a giant wool farm underneath my base, yeah?
Yes, but I mean, it's not really a gift then if I'm using your wool.
Well.
So, but yeah, that was that,
epic.
and well, to be fair, it was all night, but that also included False Symmetry's gift.
The cat. Which is awesome. I prefer the cat to the name tag, if I'm going to be honest. I thought the cat was a real good work. That was brilliantly done. I still haven't taken the name tag down, because you came on and you told me, you should probably be recording if you go back to your base. So when I did log on, I'm somewhere down in my basement, and I didn't know what you had done. I didn't have any idea. So I went around and I was looking inside my house because I was fully expecting something to do with either the sorting system or my treasure room or any of that other stuff. Then I realized it was night, so I went up and I slept. And it's only then that I noticed that there is this massive woolen thing outside. It's dominating the skyline, and I didn't notice it until I woke up.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of hard to build because, I mean, just because of the way I wanted to shoot it for the video, because I wanted to have the reveal at the end, right? So I shot it building it like from the top down. Yeah. So I had it open and I'm like counting. Okay, so it's 3 red and then 2 white and then 7 red, and I'm. I think the video turned out okay, but it was. But you were worth it, Tick.
Thank you very much. I feel so loved.
Well, that's one way to say it.
These warm feelings. Got to get rid of those somehow. Yeah, well, the video turned out great, and when I was watching it, I thought to myself, he must have like a diagram somewhere, because you're just going and going and going. There doesn't seem to be very many pauses there. Right.
I think when you speed stuff up and all you're doing is looking down at red and white blocks, the edits are easier to sort of blend together.
And of course, you used Mr. Woodward.
Yes, I love that song too. It was so appropriate to the occasion.
It was.
It kind of has an old. I'll date myself with this, like an old Violent Femme sound. Kids, you can go Google that. But that sort of twangy guitar thing.
Yeah. Cool. So if you haven't heard any of Josh Woodward's stuff, there will be a link in the description. Definitely go check his stuff out because Midnight and I are both big fans of his work, and I need to make more excuses to actually use it. How did you find Josh Woodward?
I was just Googling around for Creative Commons stuff to use in videos, and that's how I found him. Oh, right. So, and that's one of the reasons I appreciate him is that not only is he a fellow resident of Ohio, go Bucks, but he gives it, you can use any of his stuff. Yeah. It has 140, so it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't even been through the full catalog yet.
So, but to have an artist like that who's willing to just open their catalog up to the community for them to use however they want, I think that's really cool and should be supported.
Dude does go pretty dark sometimes, though.
That's true.
You said in one of your videos that he needs a puppy or something.
I do need to send him more puppy pictures.
All right. Okay, so now it's about what's going to be happening next week. So,
aren't you going to ask what happened to me this week?
Oh, wait, sorry. I thought we had sort of discussed that. What
I've done more things than build a freaking wool name tag.
Really?
No, I really haven't. Actually,
what have you been up to then?
One of the things that
in your spare time?
What I raise children and support a family, but actually one of the things that I've kind of started doing in the last week or so has been streaming on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
To actually, I had done it once before just to kind of see how it went, and I think I had one person watch me. No, it wasn't. It was actually my very first subscriber on YouTube. And his name is
very important.
That Krogan HD. That Krogan HD. The poor guy, he stayed with me for like an hour and a half while I mined and caved, looking for diamonds. I was doing a Let's Play hardcore series, single player, and I wanted to do some mining and stuff. But since it was hardcore, I didn't want to do anything off camera. But mining is boring as all get out. So I thought, well, I'll stream it, and then if anybody questions my bona fides, they can go to Twitch and see the video. So I did it for that reason, and it was not successful. But recently, I had made the decision that I wanted to start streaming, like do it once a week. And the reason I had done it is because I'd been watching Twitch more recently, and there's a group of guys who met up at Minecon, the last one,
Yeah. Okay.
all streamers, and these are guys I don't, uh, Wolf21 and Luckland,
All right.
and
No Luckland. Yeah.
yeah, and Spoon from Hypermine, or not Hypermine, Hermitcraft,
Mhm.
um, and some of these other like big streamers. They all got together at Minecon and said, wouldn't it be cool if we had a server that was like Minecraft for streamers?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That
So
makes sense.
they started a server after Minecon called the Build Guild. And so you've got all of these big time streamers all working on one server. And they're from all over the world, which is kind of cool because you go to Twitch at any time, day or night, there will be somebody streaming from that server.
All
Because
right. And they
these
stream
are
from the
all
same account.
no. They all have their own accounts, but they all have like Build Guild in the title of their stream,
All right.
and
Okay.
they're always all at the top. But these are people who do Twitch full time, so they go 8 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week, if not more.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
Can't even imagine being
Yeah.
entertaining for that long.
but yeah. Well, but I think for them it's easier. They get 3 or 4 thousand people in their audience, and
It's a
they
little bit
got
of interaction and.
yeah.
Mm.
So I started watching them, and you know what? They make it look fun, and I think I'd like to do that. So I have on Wednesday evenings been streaming. The last 2 times have been on Hypercraft.
Mhm.
This next week I'm going to go back to Blockcentric
Ah.
and stream off of there. But the streaming thing's been really exciting. It's an entirely different experience than making YouTube videos for sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I was lucky enough to catch your first comeback stream,
Mm-hmm.
which was cool. Which was cool. The beginnings of the Midnight Strip Mine.
Yes.
But
So
I haven't been lucky enough to catch the rest of yours, so I'll have to try and make an effort.
well, it is not European friendly. I think my timing, because for you it's pretty late at night when I start.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but it's not going to be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
I at least should drop in and say hi. And anybody watching this should drop in and say hi. There'll be a link to his Twitch channel down below as well.
Cool.
Right, so what else have you been up to other than streaming and pranking people?
Right.
You've been taking it easy this week.
Yes.
Should we move on then? Oh, he's dropped out, it looks like.
No, I'm back.
Oh, right.
I don't
okay.
know. I got a loose wire or something. But let's soldier
well-
on.
Yes, solder on. Less about Midnight and more about his headset. Okay, so next part is where we talk about basically what's going to be happening next week. And for me, I have produced a ton of content ready for Hypermine. But I want to space it out a little bit more and maybe get a little bit more Hypercraft stuff actually in the loop. Because there's a bunch of stuff I need to do, because there's obviously this upcoming war with Mr. Designer here, which luckily, since he's only active at midnight, means I can take care of it during the day. And there was the other 2 pranks from my earlier poll that I actually still need to pull off, because it's been very terrible of me to not actually do more pranks when I started the whole thing off.
I know,
that's
right?
Really, really bad form. So we got that coming. We've obviously got Dead Space and Runes of the Mindcrackers. We're very nearly the end of the Runes of the Mindcrackers stuff. It should finish just after Christmas. I'm going to either have to think of another series to put together, or maybe do more Minecraft stuff. It's difficult, because you don't want to burn out too much. And
Mhm.
my wife may be worried that I'm ignoring her in favor of YouTube.
God,
Or
never let
maybe.
that happen.
Or
Although
she's
maybe
just hopeful.
you could pull a a chocolate and peanut butter and combined your two loves.
We have done on occasion, and there are plans for that in the future. We'd like to do more, but it's about finding the right game for the two of us to play together.
Mm-hmm.
That can actually be quite difficult, because I'm very picky. And it's expensive. It's twice the outlay just to do videos.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't make money from this stuff yet. I'm not a YouTube millionaire. I blame my subscribers, mostly.
Well, that seems like an interesting approach.
Right. It's nothing to do with me.
Yes.
So, have you got
Yeah,
anything else?
I, on the other hand, love my subscribers.
You guys should hear the things he says in Skype. So, what are your plans for the upcoming week then?
Well, for this week, I will do another Hypercraft. We have set up a base. We've got like fundamental farm stuff going, but preparations for the actual base itself, and also, I mean, there's a lot of projects. I mean, it's not going to be necessary.
Oh, we'll have to grab him when he comes back.
2 blaze spawners in range.
Mm-hmm.
So right down from my portal. So we may do a double blaze farm thing. I want to do a general sort of mob grinding farm because my base is also right next to deep ocean. So all that stuff's in the works for Hypercraft. Blockcentric, I just need to get my butt in gear and get started. I have done a tour video with Brindy Low, which I have yet to edit and put up, but I need to cut that up and do an intro for it and stuff. So that'll be coming soon, Monday, I would think. And then Wednesday night will be the Blockcentric stream.
That'll be really cool.
Where I am, doing the, get the spawn house sorted, find a base, that kind of stuff. So that's my next week.
Oh, okay. So it should be a good, interesting week. All right.
Well, I will endeavor to make it interesting, but I make no promise.
I would hope so. No, you must promise this. I can't live if you're not having an interesting week.
Well, I didn't realize how deeply invested you were in my channel, Tick.
It's gonna. Now you know.
Yeah, I know. Now the internet.
No pressure.
No pressure.
All right.
So what have you been watching?
What have I been watching? Okay. Well, I've only really added one extra channel this week to my usual run through, which is Aniki Domo.
Mm-hmm.
And if you heard Lapis last week, she was talking about the Godiva gaming.
Yes. Every time I hear about that, I get hungry.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can't help but picture a horse.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think of the Godiva chocolates.
All right. I'm thinking about Lady Godiva.
See, I'm just hungry.
You're always hungry.
But Aniki is an amazing. She's awesome.
Yes, definitely.
The redstone that comes out of her brain is messed up.
I know. I'm confused as to why her channel isn't much bigger. Because she's always producing really, really interesting things.
Yeah, but I think she's one of those. It's kind of like Slip, where it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. He's had some excessive growth the last month. Have you seen it?
Yeah. 10,000 in a month. He went from 10 to 20 in like a month or so.
Yeah.
But I was watching Slip back when he was back at Aniki's numbers for subs.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he got on to Hypermine, and then he started, and then people just started seeing him, and then obviously Hermitcraft was a big kick. But I mean, there's no reason Aniki won't be there. It's just a matter.
Definitely not.
It's just a matter of people finding her.
Yeah, once that happens,
she will have a very Slip gate trick path upward.
Definitely.
I predict.
We can only hope for such luck.
Right.
We're very niche people. Alright, well, so yeah, it's mostly just been Aniki. Otherwise, I've been trying to keep up with all my other subs. I actually need to go through and sort of maybe stratify them out a bit because I'm up to like 170.
Mm-hmm.
I sub to a lot of people.
Yeah, I've had to go through and group them because you can do that with YouTube.
Hmm.
So I've grouped them. I have my Hypermind group and my
Yes.
indie Minecraft folks, and then the occasional non-YouTube video. And that's
Well,
very helpful.
no, no. Yeah, so, have you watched anybody new this week, or
Well, I
made
mean,
any friends?
there are a couple of guys that I have been watching. One of them is Voodoo Beard. He is another one that I don't understand why people aren't watching him. Just another Redstone guy, really knows his stuff, but he's the kind of guy where he can do some almost like Wooly Creepery, Wooly sort of, you know how Wooly does his it's sort of unorthodox, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah. It's almost intuitive type thing.
right, and Voodoo does the same kind of stuff. Really good builder, and he's like 100 subs, I think. I don't know. I don't want to say he's 100 subs, and he's like, I know he's not 10,000 or anything. But he was he's been a friend of the designer for a while. And the other one that I've been watching is Morilibus. I don't know if I'm Morilibus.
Makes sense. Morilibus, yeah.
He is hands down the best builder I've ever seen play the game.
Oh yeah.
He's got 2 series going. He has a single player, and then he plays on the Olympus server, I think.
Okay.
And he's got some subs. I think he's a couple of thousand subs. But
Right, okay.
I mean, and the thing about his builds is that his building style is very him. So
Right,
he almost has a real abrasive aesthetic to the way he does stuff, but it's mind blowing what he does, and he's by far one of my favorite YouTubers. The guy's amazing.
All right. So another type of Corrales type BWO type person.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't do like Corrales builds a thing to make it look like the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But Morilibus's aesthetic like operates outside of I want to make an RV that looks like an RV.
Right. Okay.
And massive
more
build.
A little bit abstract.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't really describe. You go check him out. Go check him out. It's ridiculous.
All right. So definitely go check those folks out because, as usual, links in the description. All right. Now we get on to games that I've been playing that haven't been Minecraft.
Have they made other games?
Apparently so, and occasionally one comes into my view, but it's very fleeting. Actually, you probably have heard about this, but obviously Starbound's just come out.
Right.
That's the new hotness.
Right.
So I was lucky enough to get it gifted to me by Alb, who's a very nice gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And he will never appear on the show because, he's dreadful.
Yes, he is.
He'd always talking about potatoes and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, Starbound has actually been taking up a lot of my free time, like a ridiculous amount, but not quite as much of my free time as Armitage and Lone Wolves.
Yeah.
Those guys are nuts. Have you? I don't know. Think you've got it, have you?
No, I don't.
Is it not your type of game, or?
Well, I just I find it so hard to find the time. With the whole, spending time. My kids are very active in other things.
Right. Okay.
So there's a lot of other stuff that goes on that we have to do nightly, and my wife, for whatever reason, insists that we spend time together as a couple.
Yeah, I hate when women do that. It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, you kidding? I'm glad every day that she wakes up and says, "Yeah, you can stay another day." But it's hard to fit in the time. So, but I have been playing a little X-Wing Alliance.
Oh yes, fantastic game.
So, because actually, one of the very first, I was back in the Doom days.
Yeah.
So that evolved, and then my mind was blown when Dark Forces came out.
Dark Forces was such a great game.
I know, and but then to the next level when TIE Fighter. Well, actually, X-wing was first.
X-wing first, yeah.
But when I was in grad school, my buddy and my roommate, I went to Fordham, and we went down to Manhattan, and we picked up a couple of PCs from CompuServe, or
Oh, wow.
CompUSA was the name of the store, and we brought them back, and we loaded up TIE Fighter, and we have one person on the joystick and the other person on the keyboard. And we just played TIE Fighter together, and that was like that's one of my
That
fondest
sounds
video
awesome.
games memories. One of us got to, it was awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounds
So
awesome.
I've been kind of reliving those days with playing what was, I guess, the last
Yeah, X-Wing Alliance
flight
was the
sim
last,
type was X-Wing Alliance. So that's what I've been
which
playing.
is a shame because they
Yeah,
always came out with
I
really
don't
good
know.
games.
I mean, FPS is kind of carried on, right?
Yes.
Obviously, but that sort of first-person flight combat simulator
Yeah,
that kind of died, which was a shame because it was. I mean, it had the illusion of open worldness, even though it was as walled as anything else.
mm,
But it pulled off the open world illusion better than first-person shooters, or at least at the time we're doing. And
oh
it's
yeah,
kind of a
definitely.
shame that those kind of dropped off because those were a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean there are similar games at the minute, like the X series, but those aren't quite as directed. They're a little bit more sandboxy,
Right, right.
but so they don't quite capture that feel. But I totally get what you're saying there. And other than Starbound, I think I play. I'm a gadget freak. I love gadgets. So
Mm-hmm.
I have multiple smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing the new Assassin's Creed game that came out for Android and iPhone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed
Is the
Pirates.
assassin like trying to? He starts a farm, and
Yes,
he has to grow a bunch of crops, and then
that's
people
right.
come and raid his field, and
So you have to knife them.
so it's like Assassin Farmville.
That's right, and you have to invite all your friends, to
Right,
get
right,
anywhere in the game.
right, right.
Um, unfortunately not. That would be an interesting premise. Assassin's Creed peasantry. But no, this is carrying on with the pirates vein that they've established in the latest game. And it's a lot of fun. You just ride around in your boat, blowing up other boats.
Nice.
What more can you ask for?
That was like the old Sid Meier's game.
Yes,
Pirates
Pirates.
Gold.
Yes, I love that game so much.
That was awesome.
I used to play it on.
Chasing around the treasure fleet from port to port.
Yes, that's right. I used to play it on Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on where you're from.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
I
love
had
that
it
game.
on the PC.
Uh, I didn't get it on PC until years later. But it was definitely one of my favorite games.
Yeah, just spamming the arrow keys in your sword fight. That was
Yes,
amazing.
exactly. Always picking the longsword because it was slightly longer than the others.
Right. Pirates Gold. That was awesome. That was another one of my favorite games.
Oh man, now you're just bringing back memories for me, man.
Hey, that's what happens when you interview an old guy.
Well, yes, you are quite old, aren't you? Oh right, okay. So we're getting into the final legs of this, and this is going to be the longest show by far.
Sorry.
That's all right. I'm happy for them to be all long because I always get people saying, "Yeah, I like to listen to the show when I'm riding home from work."
No, so
And I'm like,
we've got some long commuters in your subscriber pool, I guess.
"Yeah, yeah." So now we're going to talk about roughly where we're coming from in the future, and unfortunately, this time around, I don't actually have very much to say because getting this close to Christmas, I'm a bit wary of, starting something new or making big plans
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of want to leave it till the beginning of next year and make it a New Year thing. But there's definitely going to be a lot more content with my wife involved.
Excellent.
Uh, and because I'm slowly approaching 100 subscribers. My wife is definitely going to be involved in the 100 sub special.
Mm-hmm.
Quite integral to it. So other than that, I don't really have much future news at the minute. How about you? You got any bigger plans coming up?
Just to keep going with what I've been doing, in particular, really focusing on developing the Twitch content. I've really been enjoying learning to use the OBS software, which is the open source streaming software that most of the folks on Twitch use. Learning how to do layers and incorporate text and all the stuff that goes into making the screens look nice, and then just like we talked about before, the different skills that you need to have as a streamer of always being mindful of the chat, interacting while sort of creating content. So really, and then obviously I'm going to keep making videos, but I think as for the end of the year, it's going to be developing my Twitch skills and then finding that balance.
Right,
as you're looking ahead at a number of projects, what do you stream versus what do you record?
Yeah, and obviously you've got your book coming out soon,
right?
Designer and Minecrafting on a T99,
right?
TI-99.
Which is why I'm not on a modded server.
No, that's exactly it. You need to speak to Texas Instruments.
Yes, I do.
Prove it.
Yes, I do. But they have stopped supporting the TI-99.
What a shame. Anyway, thanks for coming on the show, man. You've been a fantastic guest.
Oh, I enjoyed it very much, and I was happy to be here, hanging out with all the ticks.
Yes, both of us.
And all of the entirety of the Tick audience.
Yes, well,
all of them,
I have like 90 accounts, all with various names containing the word Tick.
Right, the Tick Nation.
My audience. So I'm never actually speaking to an audience. I'm always talking to myself. Oh, you've certainly set a precedent for future shows. Wow. All right, man. Thanks for coming, and thank everybody for watching. You've been a fantastic audience as always, and I will see you next time.
Bye, Pat!
Adios.